Edwardian Britain, 1901 to 1910. Following Queen Victoria's death, Britain entered the Edwardian era under King Edward VII. Interiors became lighter and more elegant. Rooms felt less cluttered than their Victorian predecessors. Natural light became increasingly important. Pastel colours, floral motifs, painted furniture, and greater comfort characterised Edwardian design. This period often represented a transition between Victorian decoration and the emerging Modernist movement. Art Deco and Interwar Britain, 1920s to 1930s. Following the First World War, architecture and design embraced modernity. Art Deco arrived. Inspired by technology, travel, luxury and optimism, Art Deco celebrated geometric forms, bold lines, polished metals, exotic materials and glamour. British examples include Eltham Palace, Hoover Building. Ocean liners, cinemas, hotels and railway stations heavily influenced design during this era. Many hospitality interiors today still reference Art Deco because of its timeless sense of luxury. Modernism and post-war Britain, 1945 to 1980s. Following the Second World War, Britain faced enormous rebuilding challenges. The focus shifted from ornamentation to functionality. Modernism promoted simplicity, efficiency, and rational design. The famous principle became form follows function. Architects embraced concrete, steel and glass. One of the most influential British architects of the period was Sir Denis Lasdun, designer of the National Theatre. Meanwhile, large-scale housing developments and civic buildings transformed Britain's urban landscape. While some projects succeeded brilliantly, others remain controversial to this day. High-tech architecture, 1970s to 2000s. Britain then became a global leader in high-tech architecture. Architects such as Sir Norman Foster, Richard Rogers, Nicholas Grimshaw embraced engineering as architecture. Buildings exposed their structure rather than hiding it. Iconic examples include 30 St Mary Axe, Lloyd's Building. This movement helped establish Britain as a global architectural powerhouse. Contemporary Britain, 2000 to present. Today, Britain sits under the reign of King Charles III. Contemporary architecture is incredibly diverse. We see influences from sustainability, adaptive reuse, wellness design, heritage conservation, biophilic design, and digital technology. Architects such as David Chipperfield, Thomas Heatherwick, Amanda Levitt continue to shape modern Britain. For me personally, one of the most interesting developments is the growing emphasis on adaptive reuse. Rather than demolishing buildings, we're increasingly finding ways to repurpose historic structures into hotels, restaurants, offices, and residential developments. As someone who has always been passionate about heritage architecture and listed buildings, I believe this approach represents the future. The most sustainable building is often the one that already exists. When you study British architecture chronologically, you begin to realise that design is never just about aesthetics. Every period reflects the values of its society. The Georgian era celebrated order and proportion. The Victorians embraced industrial progress. Art Deco celebrated optimism and modernity. Modernism prioritised function. And today, sustainability, well-being, and adaptive reuse are shaping the future of design. As designers, we are simply the next chapter in a story that has been evolving for centuries. The buildings we create today will eventually become the architectural heritage of tomorrow. And that's a responsibility I think every designer should take seriously. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you in the next episode.